Hi there, this is Morgan with Morgan Burks Photography and Product Shop. Today I'm going to show you how to apply a texture and an overlay to your photo. This is the photo that I'm going to be working on today, and it's been edited already. I've darkened it a little bit and just kind of did a little bit of a moodier process, and now I'm going to jazz it up a little bit with the texture and the overlay. So the first one that we're going to do is the overlay. Now with both of these, textures and overlays, you go to File, Open, and you find them in your computer and then you just open it like you would a regular photo. I've already got these ones open, so from there all you have to do is grab your Move tool and you're just going to click directly on the overlay itself or the texture and then just drag and hover over your photo, and don't let go until your mouse is actually on the picture itself, and then you can go ahead and let go. From there, you can hit Control or Command T on your keyboard, or you can just go to Edit Free Transform, and this brings up that bounding box so you can stretch your file to fit the photo. You want it to fit all the way to the edges, and then once it does, you just hit the little check mark to accept. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see. So what I'm going to do here, as you'll see, it completely covers your photo. We are going to change the blend mode. And the blend mode is something that happens over here in the layers panel. With your overlay layer selected, you're going to hit where it says normal, and you're going to change that to, in this case, screen. When the overlays have some black on them and you kind of want it to blend in a little bit, I like to use screen. It kind of gives it that flare look, like light, and that's something that I want to go for with this photo. So in this case, I like what it's doing to my photo, but I kind of want to be in control on where this is showing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this little button at the bottom of my layers panel, the rectangle with the circle inside. This is called your layer mask button. So I'm going to click that, and then you'll notice a little white rectangle pops up on your photo. This is your layer mask. This is basically like a window showing what's here on this layer, which is our overlay. In this case, I want to close the window. I don't want this overlay to show up anywhere yet. I kind of want to have control over where it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control, or if you're on a Mac, you hit Command. So it's going to be Control or Command I on your keyboard. And you'll notice that that turns that little rectangle black and basically hides the overlay from view. So to uncover our overlay and our effect, we're going to grab our brush tool and we're going to make sure that our color is set to white. If your mask is black, you want to paint with white. So we are going to, my opacity is set to 40%. You can change that if you like. In this case, I'm going to leave it. And then I'm just going to softly paint this in here where I want it. And I really want it to come from this little section down here. I kind of want it to appear like sunlight from over there. And then I'm just going to kind of sweep over her and over this way. So it just is all the way across the horizon line. And then I'm going to paint a little bit up here into the trees too. And gently sweep over her face because I want it to look like the light is hitting her as well. So, but as you'll see, it's not in the corners and it's not on the bottom. So this is what a layer mask does. It lets you tweak where and how this is affected in your photo. And I'm just going to go over this spot a little more, make it a little bit brighter there. You can sweep more color over any spots. Maybe up here I want a little color. And then you can also flip your color back to black, and this removes it anywhere. Let's say that you don't like it over her arm, you can paint this off. In this case, I do want it over her arm, so I can flip my color back to white and paint it on. It just depends on the effect you're going for and where you want to remove it or add it. And how you want to go from there. So there is the overlay process. Sorry, I didn't even say, this is called Scanned Bold Color, and it's one of the flare style overlays from the Evolution collection. And the texture that I'm going to be using today is Filtered Inverse, and it's from the Film Grain Textures. And so the same thing goes for this one. I'm going to grab the Move tool, and I'm going to click right on the texture itself, and then I'm going to hover my mouse. I'm not going to let go of my mouse yet until I'm directly over the photo, and then I'm just going to drop it on there. So now I'm going to place it up in the corner, and then again you can go to Control or Command T on your keyboard, or go to Edit Free Transform, and then just stretch it to the corners, and then hit the check mark. Now in this case, I'm going to use a different blend mode. You could use screen, but I don't really want it to be that light. I want it to be a little bit more moody, a little bit darker, and these different blend modes affect the way this texture or the overlay reacts with your photo. The different blend modes will do different things. Multiply darkens. There's overlay, which kind of gives some contrast, but still that awesome texture. And then soft light is just a little bit softer than overlay. And then hard light kind of fills in those highlight areas too. Today I'm going to use hard light. I like the way it plays on the photo. It almost looks like it's a faded, weathered actual photograph. So that's the one that I'm going to use today. And again, I'm going to add a layer mask to it because I don't want it everywhere. I just want to kind of paint it in certain spots. So I'm going to hit the layer mask button, and again I'm going to hit Control-I on my keyboard, and then grab a white brush and paint this in wherever I want it to show up. I want it over her a little bit. Maybe off in the corner, a little bit of texture up in the trees and in the sky, a little in her hair just so it's all over, and then a little more up there. And again, this is personal preference. You can do as much or as little as you want, which is pretty much the case in everything you do in Photoshop. You can choose how in-depth you go, but that's all I'm going to do for now. I just like it adds a little bit of grit. Just almost like you can feel the photograph itself. So that's what I did there. I'm going to hold down my Alt button on my keyboard. If you're on a Mac, you're going to hold down Option, and then you can click the eyeball on your background layer and it will show you the before and after. So that was before, and this is after. Just kind of gives it that like sunrise or sunset, I guess, look to it. And transformed it a little bit, give it a different look than something you can do just with Photoshop itself. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, you can email me at morgan@morganburks.com, or you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/morganburksphotography. Thanks so much and have a great day.